How often do we do this? In season. If we have a bad trip that there's like a lot of bugs, I feel it to appreciate it, but this is a very heavy duty pressure washer. There's no kinking. It makes my life so much easier. Our coach is almost 7 years old and it looks pretty good. Hey everyone, thanks for joining us on a DIY video. Now we did a video similar to this about 2 years ago, but we're gonna go a little more in depth to some different equipment we're using. It's going to be how to wash your motorhome RV. It doesn't really matter. It's very expensive to hire somebody to wash them. If you go through some truck washes, you do risk damage to your RV because oftentimes the paint is very soft on these. You really should be using certain equipment, and that's not something that we like to do. So we're gonna take on this full process. It takes us anywhere between 35 minutes to an hour to clean our 37-foot motorhome, and we're gonna show you why we could do it so quickly and easily. I'm gonna show you all the equipment we use and how we use it. But before we do that, please take a moment, make sure you subscribe, notification bell's on, so when we release new videos, you will get notified. Let's get into the equipment we're going to be using. We're going to be using a pressure washer. I do recommend an electric pressure washer. Now, if you watch our other videos, we used to use a little compact, smart green, I think it was Smart Green or Ryobi pressure washer, which worked, but we went through several of them that kept breaking. We now have a new pressure washer. This is the Ava Easy P50. This is like the Rolls-Royce of electric pressure washers, designed in Norway, and we're gonna show you some of the features of it, but why I like it, it's lightweight, it's foldable, so this handle will come up. It's only 2,000 PSI at full blast, which of course we won't be using. It's guaranteed for 10 years, there's a warranty on it, but the cord, the hose, 40 feet of hose, built right in. So that's pretty awesome. That's going to be one of the secrets. We'll show you how to use that. The next thing is going to be our simple chuck. This is a DI water system, which means deionized water. What that means to you is that you don't have to dry. You can let it air dry, no water spots. That's going to save you a ton of time and work. Next, you're going to need a bucket of soapy water. Some people do a bucket of fresh water also. I just clean the lamb's wool pad in between. Using a foam gun is going to make everything a lot quicker. So one foam gun is going to be filled with soap. I like to use the Maxi Suds by Chemical Guys. It's cheap, it works well. There's a foam cannon, we'll have soap, and then we'll finish it off with a foam on wax. Now I do once a year a hand wax. That's not going to be today, but that's what's in here. Griot's Garage. There's some other ones out there. It doesn't have to be that one. Of course, we're going to use our release cleaner. We're going to kind of pre-prep for everything. That is the sponsor of our video. Release cleaner is an all-in-one solution. Now you may be asking to yourself, well, why don't you use it to clean everything? Well, it's going to be more cost efficient if you have the ability to get to water to use water. But what we will use this for is to get the tires and wheels prepped. Release, you're able to use in all different types of surfaces. So I'll put it on the wheels and it'll start to associate with the dirt. So when I pressure wash everything's gonna come off. I'll just spray the front because this is often where the bugs are. It's made in the USA by SideQuest USA. We use this often when we're on the road and we don't have access to water because you just spray and wipe. We did many videos about that. They're a great company, no sulfurs or any dyes in it. Originally made for the aeronautics industry. Many RVers, boaters, people with cars are using it. You want to go to releasecleaner.com. Use the discount code ENDLESS10. You'll get 10% off of your purchase. I have the 32-ounce bottles. However, if you buy the 1 gallon concentrate and you mix it at the strongest solution, which is a 1-part release to 20-part water, which is what we use, you'll get 80 32-ounce bottles out of that 1 gallon concentrate at the strongest solution. Costs you a little bit over $1 a bottle. So if you want more information, go to releasecleaner.com, discount code ENDLESS10. We'll put the link down below. Use the release on the wheels because you see that dirt right there. This is what's really going to loosen everything up. So when I hit it with the pressure washer and the pre-wash, all that stuff's going to come right out. I feel it to appreciate it, but this is a very heavy duty pressure washer. Now it comes with the stubby gun, and if you want to use it stubby, you can get the adapter. Then you connect your ends right here. You can go close if you want to do the wheels. That's a simple thing to use. What I like about this is the longer extension on here, and it's very well constructed. So it clicks in, and then I would screw it in tight. But look at this over here. You have this release button, and now I can extend up, get right close. So when I'm doing the foam, I can easily get the foam where I want. To use the 40-degree nozzle, that way it's a nice wide spray, it's not going to damage the paint. Worst things about using a pressure washer is the kinked hose and having to try to reel that hose back. This is all built in, really nice, 40 feet. So I'll be able to get around everything. I'm going to hook in right here, all right? The water running, I'm not gonna use the DI water until I rinse. Cause I mean, you can use it the whole time. You're just gonna be wasting those resin cartridges. I'll just use it on the rinse. I'm going to make sure the air pockets, any air gets out. Seems like we're pretty good here. I'll turn the pressure washer on. There's my stream there. First start, while you're getting those air pockets out, you know, the pressure washer will push those out. So I'm going to start with the wheels. I know you can already see how the release works. You see how shiny it is already? Quickly gonna pressure wash the wheels. And I didn't even put anything on there other than the release. Didn't agitate or you see how clean it already got. I'll pressure wash. Back wheel is really dirty. I'm going to do a quick pressure wash on it, no agitation. You can see how clean that is. Again, I'm gonna go over it a little bit later with some soap and water, but you can see how quickly that release worked. So what I'm going to do is just give it a quick wash with the water, try to loosen up, get any dirt off of it. Again, look how nice this comes out. There's no kinking. It makes my life so much easier. I'll hit the front. Now this bottle also came with that Ava pressure washer, and this is much nicer bottle than we usually get because it has the dilution marks on it, and also it can control how much soap gets into the system. So if I had it dial up to like 5, then you could also control how wide of a spread you want, and everything clicks, as you can hear. So what I'm going to do, I'll start working in sections. I do suggest you don't do this in direct sunlight. It is about 5:30 right now. It's just a little bit cooler out. The sun's not going to dry anything. So I'm just going to soap everything up. If I want it more soapy, then I'll turn up the number. I'll turn it up to 7. You'll get a better foam. If I want the stream to be a little more narrow, I'll open it up a little bit, and that'll make it more narrow instead of spray wider. So you can see it's a little more narrow now. A high quality bottle, you can see how much I foamed. Look how little water I used. Very little water. I only used about 2 ounces of soap in here. Now that everything's lathered up, that soap is pulling any dirt that might be on there. I will dip. I'm using a lamb's wool pad, which is recommended by most manufacturers. It's not going to damage the paint. Now, some people say you can also use boar's hair, hog hair. I don't know, I've never used that, but people do use that with good results. So in the comments below, let us know about the hog's hair. The only thing I've read about hog's hair is that a lot of the brushes wind up losing a lot of hair, and it's super expensive. We'll put the links to everything down below. What I'm going to do is just agitate everything. You don't have to go crazy. Just get everything agitated. Be careful not to hit the paint with any of the parts other than the lamb's wool. If you have to use by hand and get a little microfiber, you can do that, but I'm pretty good with this. I've been doing it quite a while. And all I'm gonna do is just, again, agitate everything, go down the whole side, and then I'll rinse it off. So some people like to use the 2-bucket method. You can do that, which is 1 bucket is clean water, 1 bucket is the dirty water. And then of course you would go into the clean water before going to the soapy water. I should say it's clean and soapy water. Or if you just want to hit the head with a pressure washer between each dip, you can do that also. Remember this from our roof cleaning video? We'll link that up above. Utilize. I'm not going to use it on the paint, but I will use it on the wheels. Just going to kind of go through it real quick, get those bristles into little crevices. I'm not going to go crazy because we already hit it with release. A lot of that dirt's already gone, and then I'll hit the back wheel also. So once I'm done with this section, I'm going to rinse it off. This is why I say don't do it in direct sun because everything's going to dry, and you don't want that unless you're using the DI water. I will show you a nice little thing about this pressure washer. It has almost like a Glock trigger. So if you pull the regular trigger out, you can hold that middle one right there. It's nice and easy. It's very little effort. So I'll start from the bottom, from the top, and then I'll work my way down. See how I did one section. Now, if you're not going to wax, but I'm going to do that, you would hit it with the DI water. You want the DI water to be your final rinse. We're gonna do another rinse. I'm gonna do every section washing it, just like I showed you. All right, so we are all rinsed now. What I'm going to do, I'm connected to the Simple Chuck, the DI water, so this rinse will be a spot-free rinse. I have connected our foam cannon with the foam wax in it. How this works is you're going to foam it on, and you're just gonna let it sit there for a minute or so, and then you're going to rinse it off. So this is gonna be the more important rinse cycle. You wanna make sure there's no product that's left, because that will leave marks. The water is not gonna leave marks, but any product that is left will leave marks. So we're gonna get the product on. So let it sit there for a second. I want you to notice how the water is gonna be when I get this off. This is not going to replace the sealant, the rejects that I do once a year. What it's going to do is going to complement it. So I'm gonna take that time once a year do the hand, any polishing if I need to, and then I complement with this, and it just keeps it, our coach is almost 7 years old, and it looks pretty good. So it's doing its work. You can see it's kind of, you know, streaking a little bit. I want you to notice how it starts beating immediately. You can see how the water is just falling off now because we do have that protection on there. That's it. How long did that take us, hon? We're going slower.
An hour, maybe.
About an hour. But if usually I'm out here alone and not filming for you guys a lot faster. I do recommend just to go up on the roof, wipe down the caps. You don't have to, but I can't guarantee that everything was rinsed. So you don't want it to dry there. Just wipe it down. You can use a little spray detailer, wipe that down. But this stuff will dry just fine. You don't need to dry it. If you're using DI water, let the air dry it and we're done. The next thing we're gonna do is just clean up everything we used in this video. If it's available on Amazon, we'll link it down below. You used a pressure washer. What'd you think of it?
I loved it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Easy to handle.
Super smooth, very easy to handle. And I like, again, that hose, now that I'm done, instead of fighting with a hose, all I have to do is just wind it up. Wind it up. How often do we do this? In season, twice a month at least. Usually if we have a bad trip that this is like a lot of bugs, I'll clean it up, at least spray it down. But twice a month, it keeps the motorhome, you can already see it's starting to dry. Look at that reflection. And it's gonna be even better when I hand wax it, but you can see the reflection on it already. It looks really good, and it's super important to clean your motorhome. Comments below, let us know what you do. If you like videos like this, to the left of us, we'll put our RV DIY playlist, we'll put our RV newbies playlist, and for myself and MJ, it's a journey of a lifetime, and we'll see you on the road.